top of the morning. As a songwriter, your imagination is your greatest tool, right? I would say second to your discipline of finishing songs, because it's one of the things I've struggled with the most in my career as a songwriter is starting lots of songs and not finishing them, and for various reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is usually you don't get the demo process started because you can't figure out what the drums need to do. You don't have a way. You're not a drummer. You can't really. Building that foundation of a rhythm section underneath the song is it's the foundation of all good music, is the rhythm section. So I would say, short of your discipline and fortitude of finishing songs and your imagination and your creativity, the third most powerful tool that we have as songwriters is EZDrummer 3. This is not a paid advertisement. I want to talk about EZDrummer 3 today because I'm working on some demos right now. I'm building out these drum parts, these drum arrangements for some songs that are going to go on an upcoming record that I'm starting to record right now. It's going to come out in vinyl. Hopefully it's going to be out maybe late May, early June. And my process is to track acoustic demos to a click, oftentimes to a quick little drum loop that's somewhere in the world of the space that song should live in, so that I can play to a groove and not just to the click that's that nick, knock, 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 nick, knock, 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 and struggle because my time's not great. But then I come back and I build out these drum parts and create a whole drum arrangement so that I can start layering instruments and thinking about sonically the space that the song needs to live in, what I want the drums to sound like, the feel of the overall song, and start laying some parts down. Once I get that done, I'm going to bring in a drummer to recut these drums in my studio. But at least they'll have a great work tape to work toward, and they'll understand what I want out of the drums without me having to necessarily articulate it to them and micromanage how they're playing. So today I want to take you through the interface. We'll go to the website where you can see where to download EZDrummer 3, talk about the cost of admission, of what it costs to get rolling with EZDrummer 3, and also go through the interface, and I'll walk you through the process of how I build out my drum arrangements for my demos. And with that, as I always do, we'll start this. I want to invite you guys, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, I want to invite you to click that subscribe button now, turn on your notifications so you get notified when the videos come out, and drop me a comment. Let me know where you are in the world and where you're at on your musical journey and what your focus is, what your trip is. What are you a producer? Are you an aspiring songwriter? Are you a studio engineer? I always love connecting with you guys, and it's great to break bread in the comments. So drop me a comment, and at the end of the video, if you've liked the video, hit the like button. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to go to tunetrack.com, and we have to, if you don't already have it, you got to purchase EZDrummer. So when we go to TuneTrack, TuneTrack is a company. They're based out of Scandinavia, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But they have all this really great software. They've got Easy Bass, EZDrummer, Easy Keys, Easy Mix, a bunch of MIDI packs. They have Superior Drummer, which is really their highest level drum arrangement, drum editing software, and drum sampling software, I should say. And they just make some killer stuff. So when we go to EZDrummer 3, we'll take a look at what it costs. It's $179. Let's see if we add it to our cart. If you bundle up, though, you can see you can get for $250. You're already paying $180. So for $250, you can get 6 individual drum MIDI packs of your choice. You're gonna get a lot more out of this. So you can also get expansions. They've got a lot of options in here. So I definitely would encourage you to at least explore that. You know, you can totally get started with just the EZDrummer 3. It's going to come with an expansion pack on it, and it's going to get you started. You're going to want to purchase that first. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to download the TuneTrack product manager, and all of the TuneTrack products that you use are going to be hosted here. It's where you're going to get notified that that there's updates available, and where you're going to go through that whole process of downloading it onto your computer. It's going to do everything for you But you can see here, this is what I have. So I started with the EZDrummer 2, got the EZDrummer 3 upgrade, and then I did that back maybe 6 months ago. And then these are all the expansion packs that I have, and a few other the easy keys that I use, and then one MIDI pack. But so you'll get that. This is where you're going to download it onto your computer, whether you're using Windows or Mac. It's compatible with both. And then you're going to get that on your machine. Then you're going to come in here to your DAW, and I already have it set up in mine, but you're going to see it's pulling it up. All right, so I've got a session pulled up. This is a song called The Good Life. I've got, as you'll see, there's 3 tracks recorded. One of these tracks, the one that's muted, is actually guitar and vocals. I just use that as a guide track to go back and retrack the guitar and the vocals. So we'll just do a new playlist there to get that out of the way. And this is what we're working with. You can see I've got EZDrummer right here. We'll pull this up. We'll go through the tabs here. So this is, you got drums, grooves, grid editor, mixer, and bandmate. And I'll explain what each one of these are. As you can see, the drums showing which drums are playing. If you want, we'll get into that in a minute. But if you want, you're able, once you have these, as you can see down here on the bottom, each one of these blocks represents a drum loop. So you're building out your arrangement with blocks of drumming. And they're all color coordinated. As you can see, you've got fills are in orange. You've got your verse sections are in light blue, purple for the choruses. And each one of those actually has, you can do custom parts. Let's go in here and I'll show you song parts. So you can see the endings red, outros, another shade of blue, pre-choruses, kind of all the parts. And if you want to, I've got my count ends color-coded a specific color so I can see where they are. And that's a user song part. So you can make as many of those as you want. And all right, so you get back in here. You got the drums. You're able to go in here into Song Editor once you've built out these parts and make adjustments to the velocity of how a cymbal or a drum is being attacked. You can also change the frequency, the amount of the hits to change the feels on it. And you can do that globally through the kit, or you can go in to Grid Editor and you can actually see every hit represented here. You can change, add, or remove as many as you want, which is really, really good. This is where EZDrummer 3 is more in line with Superior Drummer. It's one of the big step ups from EZDrummer 2, which make it a very powerful tool. But let's look at this groove section. This is where things are going to start for you. This is where you're going to host all of your expansion packs. You can see on the left, these are all the EZDrummer expansion packs that I have and MIDI packs of all the parts that I have access to. Up here, you can change, if you're sorting and you're trying to find a specific type of feel for a specific type of song you're working on, you can filter by genre. You can filter by play style, by type. So, whether something's played straight or swung, or it's a beat or it's a fill. And then you can change the power hand. So power hand's hitting the snare. You can make the ride where the power hand is going. And we'll get into all this kind of in just a minute. I want to just do a brief walkthrough what each one of these tabs represents. The mixer is the mix of all the drums, and that will vary the amount of inputs based on which expansion pack you're using. And then bandmate is a new feature, which is really, really cool. So if you're not sure where to get started and you've got a basic demo of something that you feel is like pretty close in terms of tempo to where you want it to be, you can just take that audio. It can be straight off your iPhone. Actually, you can, if you're using a Mac, you could just airdrop it to your Mac and then just drag it over here. And what EZDrummer 3 is going to do is it is going to listen to that, analyze it based on its algorithms of where the waveforms hit, and it's going to assign it a drum part, which is, it's crazy how good they seem to be. And then from there, once you have that, you can go back in here to grooves. As you'll see, you've got a few things going on here. You got the song creator down here on the bottom right. So if you use the song creator, theoretically, I was talk about a workflow. You could go into Bandmate, take your demo, dump it in there, get that first part that EZDrummer thinks is going to be the closest thing that you have in your expansion packs to the right beat for that song. You can then drag that into the song creator. So you would just drag it here. If you didn't have that, you could just take any one of these blocks and I could just drag it up. And then it's going to pull up all these different song ideas, all these different part ideas for you that are all segmented into intros, verses, pre-choruses, choruses, bridges, fills, and the ending. And you can see you've got the source file listed first, and that source file will be, if it's a chorus that you drag in there, it'll be under choruses and all that kind of jazz. Another option that you have that I typically will use is tap to find. So you can see this is when I was building out my my count in. So just got quarter notes on the hats. You can see this is set to an 8th note feel. You can change that to a quarter note feel if you want. It defaults to an 8th note, and then you can clear this. You can hear it's got the click going. So if you want to just do a basic beat, show you. I know that I want that to be there. Keep hitting the wrong thing. And we'll just do that. Okay. It doesn't have to be a meticulously designed beat. I guess that's why I don't want to spend too much time on this, do something real basic. But when you pull that beat up, you're going to notice down here in the groove section that it's going to list a percentage of how closely the beat is to your source beat, to your tap to find beat. And we'll just take a listen. So these are all just varying. Sorry, it's early. And you go till you see one that you like, and you would then theoretically you click and you drag it down there. And that's what you're going to do with all this. So you would, if you liked this, right, you would just click. And then as you wanted to start building this, you just click and drag down into the parts. They're not it's not a magnetic timeline. So you'll be able to just kind of drag things around as you want, and you're going to build your parts out. Once you've got your part built out in here, so this is my first thing that I do. I'll start building out the parts without finding ones that are close. They don't have to be perfect. And then I go in, if I think it's something that I want to just reduce the amount of hits from, like, say, a snare drum, then I might go to, let's just go into this one. We'll do 5 and 7. I also want to give you guys a tip. As you're getting started with this and you put your demos together, regardless of what DAW you're using, go in and set markers in your session. This is going to be very helpful because as you're looking down here, these are all these numbers are representing measures. And so if you have this pulled up, and I strategically have this set this way so that I can see up here where I'm working, and you can see I've got the block that is between measures 5 and 7 here. So we're just going to 5 and 7. It's the intro. And then I'm going to put this on a loop. So you can loop that. I'll just drag that over. Oh, jeez. I'm not doing so hot this morning, fellas. All right. 5 and 7. So then we're just going to be running in a loop. And what happens here, if you go to edit play style, you can choose any one of these drums. And you can so I can reduce the amount of hits, and I can do that for the kick. I can do that for the hi-hats. For now, we're just going to leave it here. Can also change the velocity, which is pretty amazing. That's one way of doing it. And then you could also go in to the grid editor, which is going to show all the actual hits. And each one of these, you can change where the snare hits are going. So let's say if you want to select all of these, just create a range. And now you'll see they're all highlighted. And I can go down. You can make it side stick, rim shots. So you can do that with all of it. You'll see with the hi-hats, you can have a lot of control over how you want the hi-hats hit, whether you want them open or closed. Gives you so much flexibility. And then you go through every drum that's in whatever part. And you can really customize these in a way that they can be master final drums if you want. For me, as I've mentioned, like these are just demos that I'm going to have a drummer come in here and play some real drums to this. So I'm just trying to use this as a guide track for me to start laying down some bass parts and thinking about other kind of instrumentation in this and sonically like the space that I want things to live in. So once I kind of get settled with the parts, I'll go into the mixer and I'll start listening to where things sit, and I can adjust a lot in here. So you can adjust your reverb times, pre-delays, and then once I have that set, that is kind of where I let things sit for a minute. I like to put my ears on it, and I may go make some small changes. But the next thing I'm going to do is start going through these kits. So the cool thing about EZDrummer 3 and these expansion packs is these drums are live drum samples that were played by some amazing drummers. Michael Miley does the big rock drums. He's the drummer from Rival Sons, and there are a lot of his kits. They were tracked in rooms that have amazing drum rooms. So you really have access to all these different drum sounds. And as a songwriter, as a composer, and you're thinking about the space that you want your song to exist in when you're demoing it, it makes all the difference in the world to be able to like try some different spaces. So we'll just listen to some of these options, right? So these are big rock drums, and this isn't really probably the best parts, the best sounds for this song, but just to kind of show you what your options are. So if you're not feeling that, you can go to modern. And this is way closer to what I'm thinking. So I like the tape filter. And that's it. Once I have the part kind of set where I want it, you can really start just working on the songs.
Wake the morning to crashing waves and a cup of coffee.
And then you have a master fader. You can determine how much you want this in the mix or out of the mix, right?
Walk the beach, searching for buried treasure. settle into the frequency.
And this is just a demo. So scratch vocals, scratch guitar, and some drum samples. Next thing I'll do is start laying down a basic bass track to get us moving. And I'll start tracking some guitars on top of this and recut most of all of this. Start building a master. As you can see, as it's following. And this is way too busy of a part for how this song really is going to be laid out, but I didn't want to spend a ton of time building out an elaborate track knowing that there's going to be somebody else recutting drums on this. So if you are doing, let's take these off. If you're tracking demos or if you're making music and you intend to keep these, the thing is that you have so much access to all of the parts and you can get in here and really dial these things in infinitely, which is amazing. So that's going to be it. That's the whole thing about EZDrummer 3 that I absolutely love. And I was being a little facetious when I said it is the short of good discipline and a good imagination, the most important tool. But what a powerful tool it is. And there's some great drum programs out there. But for me, this just empowers. It's not super complicated to understand. So from a songwriter standpoint, maybe you're not super techie or, proficient at this kind of stuff. It really dumbs it down and gives you a couple different ways you can attack things and visually get to see what the drums are doing and help you get the best and most expansive drum parts for your songs. So that's my pitch on EZDrummer 3. Y'all go check it out. If you're not subscribed to the channel one last time, you've got an opportunity right now to make me very happy by clicking that subscribe button and turning on your notifications so you get notified when the videos come out. And drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about EZDrummer 3. If you're using Superior Drummer, I'd love to know your thoughts on EZDrummer 3, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. And if you're using another drum software, tell me about what you use, why you use it, and how it compares to what you've seen in EZDrummer 3. And if you like this video, hit the like button. I'm Justin Brogdon. You guys keep making music. Keep doubling down on yourselves. And we will be seeing you very, very soon. Peace.